Hello, it's me, Kisma, and here we are, day 4 of our 5-day challenge. We're over the hump. You have created your 6 sketches. I'm sure they're just incredible. I cannot wait to see them. And today we are going to be painting them. We're going to be using watercolors and embellishing them. I want to just talk a moment about colors. I'm not going to go into a lesson about the color wheel or any of that wonderful information. What I want to say about colors is to always choose the colors you love. Sometimes we think we have to step outside of our color range and we have to work with that color because we never do, or we have to work with that color because that's the trendy color, or we just feel we're supposed to vary it up. But I believe that colors express who we are and what we believe in, what we resonate with, what we feel most comfortable with. So when you choose the colors to paint, it doesn't matter if, for example, one of your favorite colors is purple and you always use it. It's okay. Or you love doing teals and greens or reds and oranges. It doesn't matter. This is about you, for you, right? And so choose the colors that really feel best for you. Now, we're working with some collage layer on our sketches. Obviously, one of the things you're going to do is take a look at that page and see the color that pops out at you the most. One, maybe two. Somehow you might want to pull that color in just a little bit, okay? But it's not necessary. I'm a firm believer we choose the colors that we most resonate with. Okay, now there's a piece of homework that you're going to be doing after you paint the front. And I'll be demonstrating this. But after you finish painting the front and it dries, you're going to color wash the back with your predominant color. And then what your homework is you have 6 of these, remember, you're going to sit with each one and take a look at it and then allow it to speak to you, allow it to communicate to you, and whatever it be, whatever that is, whether it's a phrase, affirmation, a keyword, whatever communicates to you from your sketch, from your watercolor, turn it over and write that on the back. Okay, and again, I'll be demonstrating this and what tools to use in just a few minutes. I really look forward to seeing your work. I hope that you'll share them if you haven't already. And tomorrow, day 5, we'll be tying it all together and looking at your final challenge product. Alrighty, thank you for being here, and I will see you on the drawing board. Hello. Okay, so we're going to begin to paint now. And I want to show you the supplies that I'm using. In the picture, I show you these. Now, these are a little bit different than just the basic watercolors. So I am highlighting these. I don't expect you to buy them, but I am going to use them to show you how cool they are for maybe a future investment of yourself. These right here are actually pigment paints. So I got them from a company called Black Diamond, and I bought a whole pack of them. And you can see all the different colors. So what you do is you need a container like this that you can mix up the paint, and all I did was I took the iridescent medium and I put a couple of drops in each one, and then I took the different pigments and just mixed it in. They're moist actually. They look dry, but they're moist. And to reactivate them, you just give them a spray with water, or you dip your brush, your wet brush in. So these are very cool because they're iridescent and glittery. And so I'm going to play with those a little bit. And then these right here are really, really cool. These are made in the United States here by a company called Color Arts Paint Studio. And these are all handmade. And so these are also very iridescent and shimmery. And I'm going to be working with these also. So mostly though, it's just your basic watercolor palette, which I think you definitely have, and which you're probably going to be working with. Okay, so here we are. Let's just do a quick recap of our challenges, because today is challenge 4, as you know, and we have tore and prepped our pages with a layer of gesso. And then in day 2, we came in and we added some ephemera and a layer of gesso. And in day 3, we did our sketches. And now today we are doing day 4, we're going to watercolor. And we're going to watercolor both the front and the back, okay? So with that said, let me go ahead and again, choose the colors that you're drawn to. I'm going to use my my aqua brushes because I just love them. So let me get the water started. Ooh, there's someone doing lawn. A neighbor's doing lawn. I'm sorry if you can hear that lawnmower. Okay, so I'm going to start off with her eyes, and I'm going to use these because it's kind of like a little bit of an eyeshadow, and I want her eyeshadow to be shimmery. So I'm just getting that wet. See how I'm getting that nice and wet? And I'm going to go ahead and give her some eyeshadow. Now the object is, we're not going to paint in everything. We're just making a semblance of color on her. I'm going to add some down here because it's good to kind of show some color. And here's how you do drips, by the way. You just lift up and you get your brush nice and wet, and then you add the water to it and let it just drip down the page, which on these is very cool. It creates a very cool effect. Let's do one more if we can get it to go. Okay. Remember, these aren't realistic, right? So we don't really care that she's got a blue tint on her face. We don't really care. I'm just getting the shadow parts of her face up above. And again, this. All right. So I'm going to do her roses, and I'm going to do her leaves, and I'm going to pick from my watercolor palette. I am going to pick a nice yellow-green for her leaves. I want it to be very bright. Okay, right down here. Let's get that. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do her flowers, and I am going to start off with more of a pink. Of course, you make your flowers any color that feels good. This is just a hint. So it's not like you're really worried about getting all the colors, you know? And let's give her, it's not really, my brush is too wet. And give her a hint of pink lips. See how the watercolor is beading up just a little bit? That happens on the pages where we have the Mod Podge, unfortunately, with watercolors. I'm sorry, the Fix-It that we used spraying to keep the charcoal in place. So just do the best you can in getting it on. Sometimes if you just put it on first and then you just leave it for a few minutes, then you can come back and smush it in. See how I'm coming back over it now. Dab at her eyes. Okay, that's nice and dry. I don't know if you have ever done splatters before, but you get a brush nice and wet and you get your watercolor nice and wet. Okay, and then you just give some splatters here and there. It makes for a mess, but it's kind of cool. I like it. But make sure you're using a real small brush, otherwise you get big splatters. Okay, so I'm ready to do the back side now. And what I'm thinking of doing for that is I think I'll go with the purple, okay, because it is an accent color. So I'm going to do wet on wet, what's called wet on wet, where I'm using dirty water that I have my other paintbrushes soaking in, because I'm not that worried about the background or how it will show or how it will finish. So there's a little tinge of yellow from a previous product I was working on earlier today. I live at the beach and it's summer, And it's major tourist time and the beaches are full, and so we've got all the airplanes going by with their advertisements, and it's loud around here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to keep our brush wet and get our watercolor nice and wet. A lot of teachers will say juicy. Let's get that juicy. And then we're just going to do a wash, okay, over the back. Wet on wet is perfect for doing backgrounds like this. But the idea is to have a very wet brush, very wet canvas or substrate. Okay. Now we're just gonna set this off to dry, okay? And I'm coming right back to you. And what I'm coming to you with is an alternative to do on your pieces. So I have completed the other pieces. I've already painted them. And what I put, once they dried, what I put over them on the front is called a varnish. This isn't on your supply list. It's just an extra and optional. It's gloss medium and varnish. And you just dribble it on and spread it with a brush. If you smear something, then just take your brush and go back the way you smeared it. Just go back the way you smeared it, just once, twice, and you'll see it wipes up pretty quick. Or if push comes to shove, just take a corner of a paper towel and just wipe the area where you don't want the color. That does happen from time to time, but what it does is it gives a really nice sheen finished look. Okay, now homework for you. Once everything dries, whether you do the varnish or not, is I've given you in a PDF some suggested words, but you're going to sit with each picture and you're going to allow it to speak to you. And then you're going to write down or type into your computer and print out the message. And you're going to take your Mod Podge and you're going to glue it down, and you're going to Mod Podge the entire background to make it a nice sheen like that, and also to give the additional stiff support that this needs. So I provided you with a PDF for all of these also, and a PDF of just the drawing, the sketch, not painted in, for you to use. If you decide that you want to use what I've done, you can use that PDF to sketch off of. You can also take a piece of tracing paper like I showed you, put it over your piece of paper, lay it on top, and with a pencil press, and then take it off, and then take your charcoal, your Stabilo pencil, retrace it, and then smudge, fix it, and then paint it. So those are some options based on your choice. Again, so the homework that you're doing on your own is to let each piece communicate to you and put that on the background. Whether you handwrite it or whether you print it out, I've given you a PDF with all of mine and then some. Because sometimes it's fun to just use those. And then it's up to you whether or not you want to varnish. I think a bottle it's expensive, that's the problem. A bottle like this either costs $9 or $12, and you go through it pretty quick. It doesn't last. So, because you use it alone and you put it on top. This back here is just Mod Podge. Now, your choice. No hard, cold rules. Now, the other thing that I'm going to have you prepare for tomorrow, is one more sheet of pages. So tear out another, remove the perforation, fold it in half, tear it, and then tear off the sides so that you don't have the, remember, the line. All right, just 2 for tomorrow. So you need these 2 prepared like that. You need all 6 with completed painting, with your affirmation, keyword, or message, Mod Podged on the back. Optional is to varnish if you have varnish. If you don't, then you can get it and add it at a later time. So you've got quite a bit of work today. Today you are being the painter. Today you are being the artist and letting more of your creativity flow, because you are choosing the colors to put down on your pages and how you want them. But you can see we're not painting everything. We're just picking and choosing here and there what we want to paint. Okay? All right. With that said, I will see you tomorrow for our final challenge day, day 5. Thank you very much and have a great time creating.